athletes and fans of bodybuilding. I'm Linda Murray, 8 times Miss Olympia, and you are watching Olympia TV. Thank you for joining us. We have a great show today, like always. And as I said, from the UK, going to Las Vegas for her first Olympia qualification is IFBB Bikini Pro, Kerry Sexton. Welcome, Kerry.
Thank you so much for having me. Honestly, like I said to most of you, this is like a really big deal to me. So I really, really do appreciate being invited on here, first of all. So thank you very much.
Yeah, right. Camille, like she said, like 1 a.m. You guys were just talking about that, right?
She woke up for this.
It's giving holiday vibes.
Yes, yeah.
And you actually have some people that woke up with you too at 2 a.m. to watch this as well.
Yes.
Comments. You told me
how. Yeah. Yeah. And joining me, guys, you guys know my co-host, Adela Garcia, 8 times Miss Olympia, IFBB Fitness Pro, and a judge, NPC judge.
Yeah,
and joining me, and joining me, Camille Perriat, IFBB Bikini Pro. She's an IFBB judge and NPC judge.
Wow, Camille,
everybody.
You got it all.
Camille.
I know, it's so great to be back and talking to Kerry, meeting Kerry. So thank you for having me back.
Yeah, well, this is exciting. You bring a lot of muscle to the stage, Kerry. What a wonderful physique. So let's talk about your first Miss Olympia Bikini qualification.
Oh, well, where do we start? It took me literally, so I turned pro in 2019, and I've been trying to get that qualification ever since, to be honest. And there was definitely, I know I wasn't ready back then, but I never kind of let the dream slip, if that makes sense. It was something that I always wanted to achieve. So I've always hashtagged like the Olympia dream and things like that. And felt a little bit like, with some of the placings that I got, felt a little bit, what's it called? Like imposter syndrome, and a bit like embarrassed to almost tag that at some points. But like, in my heart, I like knew like, there's more and I want to achieve this. And last year was obviously the year, which is crazy to me. Every day I walk down and I look at like this, I'm just like, how did I do that? I don't know when it sinks in, maybe when you actually hit the stage. But yeah, I am super chuffed with it, to be honest. Just goes to show, doesn't it, like what hard work can do. So
yeah.
Before you turned pro in 2019, when did you like start competing in the NPCs? It's still the NPC in Europe, right?
Yes, yeah, it is. So I started competing in 2016. I've always been someone that's done like quite a lot of shows at a time, like 5 or 6 a year, even from like day one. So to speak. And I competed with another federation, and like I got flown all across the world, and I won like a lot of shows as an amateur. And then I was always a little bit fearful of stepping into NPC, to be honest. I always thought like that was like the big league, and as much as like I want to one day qualify for the Olympia and like earn my pro card in that, I just kind of thought like I wasn't ready or good enough. So I actually didn't compete with them until it was 2019. So the time when I got my pro card, I waited that long, to be honest. And I'm really glad that I did, because obviously like after I achieved it, we actually went into lockdown. So like everything could have been rewritten so differently. Like it's crazy when I think about that. I did like so many shows in 2016, 17, 18, flew all across the world and stuff like that. And then, just went in. I was unwell at the start of the year in 2019. And then they changed all the rules and stuff. And there was like, I was able to do one show that then qualified me for the British. And then I was able to compete in pro qualifiers, and I did 6 shows in 8 weeks, and I kept getting first place in my height class and then just missing out in the overall. So it was pretty much from that point, it feels like how last year felt, where like you're backstage, you get off stage and you're literally looking at flights straight away, like, right, where am I going next? Where am I going next? So it was a big journey, that one. It was,
Yeah, you won the Romania Muscle Fest at some point, right? You won that. Is that what qualified you to go to the Olympia?
It is, yeah, which was, there was like 33 girls. So I was like, shook.
Right.
Like,
I've been to the Romania Muscle Fest many times, so I don't even understand why you would even question why, like, or even a thought of like you not qualifying, because there's serious competition in Romania. So that's huge.
Yeah, it was, to be fair. I was, like I say, like, even when I talk about it now, it's still like, what the hell?
Wow. Yeah.
And the cool thing is that when you won the Romania, that was in November 2024.
Yeah, it was. Yep.
There's nothing better than qualifying for the Olympia so early on in the season, so you can take all that you have so long to just like, I'm going to the Olympia, and you have this feeling that lasts and prepare.
Yeah. Right. I literally feel that it's been a really nice, it's been a hard journey since, to be fair. There's been quite a few ups and downs. Spent quite a lot of my off season actually injured, which sucked a bit, but throughout that, like, I'm really surprised to see how much my physique has like matured and progressed. So I actually am confident that I am bringing like an improved package upon last, which was a fear after obviously being injured. You kind of doubt how much progress you can make. But I think it just goes to show that even if you are navigating injury, that if, you are doing something to push you in the right direction, that it is better than nothing. So, and I would say that I've learned that like hard from my partner, because he's like undergone like 2 shoulder surgeries and had a crazy time, and he's like gone through it harder than hard. And so seeing that, like, I knew that if I just stay on my grind, like, I'll get there. So we kind of have, which is good.
Do you mind sharing what injury you've recovered from or are recovering from?
So it was post show when it kind of hit me. I didn't specifically do anything. I think I was doing hip thrust or something like that, and my back just hurt on the left side. And I've always got like, so I'd say like a weakness of my physique is my like waist, but more so like we just started to know that like my erectors started to like blow up on one side. And it was kind of like a bit like, why? Because I've always had a small waist. And I think that's the thing that's essentially made it like a bit wider, because my coach is very, very like on it with looking at my form. Like, I study a lot of form like things. So I know it wasn't a form issue or anything like that. And then I went and just like had a scan like you do. And they said like I had 3 like slightly herniated discs like in my back.
Oh, wow.
So then it was a case of just navigating that, and we had to reprogram constantly, like taking things out. I spent a long time just literally doing just mobility alone throughout that time as well. And then like my main movements was literally like a glute med kickback. And to be honest, like we didn't even have to deload or anything much throughout my off season, which is usually something that is common for me. Because I wasn't training like that hard. But when we put some photos together, I was like really, really shocked with the progress that we did make. So I was like, wow, okay. And then just of recent, I've got like, I don't actually know what's wrong. I went for a scan yesterday. So basically I'm falling apart. We dropped volume. We dropped body. And I think where we dropped the volume, like to, because essentially we didn't really need much more depth for my physique. I think it's something to do with like the stability or something in my shoulder, perhaps rotator cuff. But at the moment we're navigating that. But we're doing okay with navigating that. So I'm sure we'll be all good.
Well, Kerry, it's you. Linda started the show by saying that you carry a lot of muscle.
Yes.
And that
Yes.
will help you, especially if you've had to modify and maybe, probably when that happened, you were probably freaking out a little bit like, oh my gosh, I'm, going to Olympia and I have to adjust my training. But you have so much muscle that I'm sure you came right back and
Yeah. Yeah.
it didn't have any impact at all.
And like I say, like seeing what my fiance has been through with his own journey as well, like I have pure faith because like he went from like not being able to literally hit like that or put his arm behind his back. And then he made it to stage within 5 weeks after being told his career's over. So I'm like, it's not the end of the world. You just
Yes.
have, right? So yeah, I'm sure it'll be absolutely fine.
Yeah, so I have a question in regards to, because when I look at your back development here,
Yeah.
and I know like with Bikini long ago, when I sat in the audience with a judge and judges talk about Bikini and they talk about the wellness division and how like when you guys turn to the rear, put your hair, cover your back, like the judges are not looking at your back development. So what role does having a strong back play in the Bikini division, even though you guys aren't really showing your back? Because I know that pose that you do when that's not easy to do, like that arch that you have in your back.
Mhm.
So what role does a strong upper back play, and how do you train your back, even though the judges aren't looking at your back development?
So I think it really adds to the physique, like it gives you a nice taper coming in and makes your waist essentially look smaller, and just really adds to like the silhouette, the hourglass shape that you want to be bringing to the stage. So it is still important to have like a good back, so to speak, as much as we do have to hide it, because it gives us strengths. It makes our waist look smaller, and everything like that. So I don't train back that much anymore. It's more of like a maintenance thing for me. I do train 1 day on, 1 day off, and it is glutes, and I do a touch up of rear delts, and then back as well. The volume is pretty low for me now, but I guess because over the years I've learned how to train properly with intensity and correct form, like I do see results with what I do. So we do have to be careful with my programming, so to speak. But yeah, it is something that like we all harp on about glutes, hamstrings, but I definitely think like, you need to look, when you look at a physique, you need to look at the physique flow instead of like looking at it and being like, oh wow, she's got an amazing glute, or it needs to be like not amazing everything, but good everything. If that makes
Everything
sense.
has to flow. Everything has to flow when it comes to bikini. Just
You don't want any one thing to like really stand out.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Linda, there's a picture of her glutes. I just cannot pull it up, but see if you can pull it up. The picture of her before and then the
before and after.
Yeah, it's this picture right here. That's incredible.
Wow.
Is so mad to look at.
So Kerry, you got a lot of muscle in your legs too. Did you do any athletics before you started to compete in the NPC?
Yeah, so back in the day, I used to play football at quite a high level. So I used to train like on a Monday, a Tuesday, a Wednesday.
Hey.
Yeah, so I used to play football. And that's why I guess my sister, funny enough, always used to say, when I was younger, I used to do gymnastics as well. Like, you have bodybuilder legs. And I used to be like, oh, like, don't. Like, and now I'm like, yeah, that is. But we've spent a lot of time, to be honest, trying to downsize my quads, hence really having to like understand movement patterns and things like that. So that's been the biggest mission, to be honest. And safe to say, I didn't have any feedback last year at all to say that my quads were like overpowering or big or anything like that. And when I saw my coach last, pardon?
You said Sandy?
No, I've had no feedback from like any Tyler or Tarek or Maz or anyone to say like, oh, you need to be careful of your quads or anything like that. So that's been a good bit of feedback that I haven't had, because usually it is like they're overpowering. And when I saw my coach last, she actually said to me, "Oh, your legs are looking quite skinny." And I was like, yes.
So you build muscle really easily, especially in
Yeah.
your legs, from the soccer background.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah. And like, I don't train calves. Like, obviously I don't train chest. I don't train biceps, triceps. It is pretty much like glutes. I don't sit on a hamstring curl or anything like that, or leg extensions. So yeah.
Yeah, most of your exercises are probably just higher repetitions and
Yeah, so I usually do some of mine are 3 sets, but again, we had to play around with volume to get around like injury and stuff like that. And where I do train them every other day and I do train them like hard, my recovery does like I do get an impact from that. As much as I have 2 sports massage a week and we've got like electrotherapy and all that kind of stuff that we do, my volume's not that high, so I'm able to recover and really like put the work in to my sessions. But we do have to pull back for me relatively a lot because I have something called PMDD, which is something that I suffer with for like 2.5 to 3 weeks of each month, which is basically PMS, but very extreme. And there's no real fix to that at all. We've tried like HRT, like full HRT, the non-hormonal coil. We've tried everything. And like, unfortunately, it does hit me a lot. So something I've learned with my coach is that we need to pull back more than others. Like I deload, pull back so much it doesn't even feel like I'm working as hard as I used to work, essentially. But it's a needs must, to be honest.
we've talked about PMDD in old episodes of FemFlex Friday. I think Wendy actually talked about it too.
Yes.
But I'm not familiar with it. So like, what do you experience and what kind of like, what do you feel like when that's happening?
So to be honest, it is really, really hard because like I'm blessed for my life. Like everything's great. Like it is. I'm really blessed for that. And it just feels to me like the way how can I explain it? So it feels to me almost like someone has died. It brings me down.
Oh,
But
wow.
I figured out it's not someone that's died. It's like part of me has. Because when so like when day 2, like, you know, I bleed on day 1, then when day 2 is here, I'm like, right, let's get to work. Like I can do anything and everything. And, you know, like I can focus on my like new business ventures and things like that. And then as soon as like day 13 comes around, it's like there's just a twist and turn and you can literally like notice it. So I get night sweats, breast pain, my immune system is compromised, and I get like, I always call it like fake illness because it's like I'm unwell and I've got a cold, but actually like it doesn't really show itself properly. So it's just like compromised my immune system. So yeah, like night sweats, nightmares, really hot, like my actual body temperature. And I have to deal with this around showtime as well. I wake up in like literal head to toe of just sweat, to be honest. And I'll sweat with my tan off and everything. It's a nightmare. And just the mental like fatigue and everything that I love, essentially like to do with bodybuilding, like going to the gym, I literally start to just like hate. So it's almost like I have to like make myself do everything from meal prep to it's hard because I've got headaches. I nap twice a day. It's just extreme fatigue on top of what we obviously already do. So yeah, it is difficult.
So there's
So do you notice more of an increase in whether you're dieted down or closer to diet or off season?
So it's the thing is like my hormones are in a really good place. Obviously they're not so great when you're obviously back end of prep, but we still get like phantom cycles and things like that. So I can never get away from it, if I'm honest. It just kind of stays the same. Like I had a conversation with my dad last year because I always just want to like quit. I just want to quit prep and stuff like that. It just makes me think like, how can I do this? Like you do get suicidal thoughts. It is deep and it is not fun. And my dad said to me, look, if you go into off season, you're going to have this. If you're deep in prep, you're going to have this. So it's not to do with my hormones. It's a brain disorder. So my brain can't handle like the peaks and the troughs of the hormones, essentially. So yeah, I there's no, like, what we've tried, there's no getting away from it. So it's kind of just, yeah.
I love a lot of your looking at your Instagram page. So much that was just very inspiring about mindset. And I did capture something that I think is really good. Mindset. Here we go. I'm going to play this.
Counts.
I'm going to play
Not every week you're going.
Start here, and I'm going to play the sound so we can hear you. Do I have the sound on? Let's play it.
I can't hear it.
Remembering why you're here, doing what you're doing, remembering the end goal, and just giving your all to that individual set. Even if the set before that doesn't go to plan or as you want it to be, that doesn't mean your entire session is written off, or the next set, even on the same exercise, is written off. So yeah, every set has a clear mindset going into it, and is literally just a reset, refocus, and let's get it.
Yeah,
Actually put my all into the session, then that is essentially all that counts. Not every week you're going to match the numbers, improve the numbers. Sometimes you might regress them, but it's important to go into each set with a clear mindset, remembering your why, remembering why you're here, doing what you're doing, remembering the end goal, and just giving your all to that individual set. Even if the set before that doesn't go to plan or as you want it to be, that doesn't mean your entire session is written off, or the next set, even on the same exercise, is written off. So yeah, every set has a clear mindset going into it, and is literally just a reset, refocus, and let's get it.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, I know. You're literally speaking to yourself, and that's your, especially if you are going through that 2 weeks, you probably feel great. And then the other half of the month you don't. So you are literally taking your own advice.
Yeah. And I think that's a lot of where my Instagram kind of goes, and where it kind of started. It's an outlet for me. And like, I do speak to myself like through it. And yeah, so that's why things are so open. And I have had people say to me before, like, you're negative, you're this, but it's like, I'm not negative, I'm just speaking. And for me, like, it's hard because those times are hard. I can't show up and be like, everything's literally amazing, because that's literally not me. That's fake. So I can't speak about something that's fake. Like, I very much write stuff in the moment when it comes to Instagram. I can't like pre-plan. It's literally how I feel, or something that I've like thought about that day, you know?
Yeah. So much good stuff on your IG.
Thank you.
So how often do you probably get your hormones checked?
Yeah.
Very regularly.
Yeah.
Do you take hormone therapy for this as well?
No. So we came off of that. We've tried like everything. So we did like 4 HRT, like everything, femtest, estrogen, progesterone, and all of that, but we didn't notice any real effects. So it was kind of like, well, I don't need it because it's not helping me, so we might as well not use that. And then same with the coil, there was like no benefit from it. So I'm like, okay, I didn't want to go on that anyway. If it was going to help, like, obviously then I would have stayed on it, but it was kind of like, no, so you might as well not. So I use natural supplements, saffron and things like that to try and combat it. But at the end of the day, I think it's just, I always say, like, my coach is always saying to me whenever I check in, like, how are you today? And it's like, sometimes I'm like, you know how I am. I might as well not even say, because one of those. But yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing. That's I didn't understand the depth of PMDD, so I appreciate you sharing that, and I commend you even more, because I think normal competitors, it's a challenging journey in itself, and then to go through something like that takes a lot of strength. So kudos to you.
Yeah, it's something that I'm proud of as well, as much as like it's really horrible. I guess like it has shown me how resilient I can be and how strong I can be, because nothing is missed. Like bedtime's always 8:30, wake time's always 4:45, get up, do the work. Even if my brain is elsewhere, it's like clients come first. Like I never want them to know that it's funny because they only know that I'm going through something if they see my Instagram, and then they'll message me, oh my God, I've just moaned at you about this. And I'm like, yeah, but no, you don't need to know this. Like, you need to know that I'm fine and we're doing this thing. Like, so that's important as well. But yeah, it's just all part of it, to be fair. And I am, like I say, kind of grateful for it in a way, because it has made me stronger as a person.
And here's another that I saw that I was impressed with. And you were talking about the bikini division and your workouts, and you just...
That my programming is set out differently to yours, potentially. And that is something that is really important when it comes to your physique's progress. So there's no use in watching what everyone else is doing and copying it, essentially, because that may not bring around the best results for your physique. So, for example, what I do as a bikini athlete may be different to what another bikini athlete does, but that doesn't necessarily mean that one of us is doing something wrong. It just means that we're working towards what our physique needs and what we need to present on the stage.
That was great. That was
Amen.
great. Yeah. So talk to that. Talk to the bikini competitors out there, because I know a lot of them with Instagram and all this information out there, people want to go and follow exactly what you're doing to get the results that you're getting. But at the end of the day, we all have to figure it out.
100%. Like I spent many of like my years, when you first start out in the sport, like it's just about gaining muscle pretty much everywhere. So everything was programmed in. My training splits were looking very, very different. And then you get to a point where obviously your physique is developed potentially enough or potentially not. And then it is a case of getting the programming right for your physique. Like I look at some like top Olympians, and I see them training every body part still. And I've had points where I'm like, but like, I'm not there yet. Like, I'm not like there yet. I'm not a top Olympian. Like, I've not stepped on the stage. And then I'm like, but I'm not training every body part. Like, am I doing something wrong? And then it took me a while to like realize that no, like have faith in like your coach, what you're doing, the feedback you're getting, and really home in on your own journey and stop looking like outside at others, because your physique is not theirs. And it's the same. Like it's like a thing as well, like with you have some amateurs where I've seen people in the past saying like they need to be training every body part, but then you don't know someone's background, and do they need to be training quads? No, sometimes not. Sometimes like they might not need to train arms or something like that, but then you might have another individual that does. So I think it's very important that like when someone does come into this sport, they have someone honest looking at their physique and their strengths and where they need to improve. And then it's pretty much a case of doing that like on repeat and re-reviewing once you get lean and pushing up, and things like that, really. I coach another IFBB Pro bikini competitor as well. And like, again, like her physique is different to mine. So what she needs versus what I need is different. Therefore, the programming is different. And I think sometimes we just need to home in on that in like individuality and make sure that our physique is growing in the right direction that we need to. And it's not just a cookie cutter plan and all of that kind of stuff, because it really is important. Like, and that's one of my biggest things when I joined my coach, is to have someone actually look at my form, because it's crazy. I look at, so I have quite a few clients, but I look at 2 training videos per session on the day of the session. So that's a lot of training videos that I get through each day with feedback. But it's not just the case of like, yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's good. And I think like to make the amount of progress that I have done in, I would say like the past 2 years, especially, has been very much down to the fact that my coach has reviewed my form. Move the cable here. something's going off. Did you hear that or not?
Yeah, it's probably something just interference.
So everything has been super like monitored.
Mm-hmm. So you have opposing, don't you? You have opposing workshop coming up July, right?
Yeah.
July. What is it? July
26th.
July
Yeah.
26th.
So that's
Awesome. So is that's something that you lead and
Yeah.
I know you. Yeah. So tell us about that.
So I don't actually do like full-time posing coaching. I have like a select few clients that I work with throughout the week. My main job is online coaching, and I'm with Trained by JP as well. So obviously that. But I do love seminars and being like in person with people and things like that. So with our seminar, I'm there with my other sponsor and friend, Compact Women, who sell all of like show day essentials, earrings, heels, everything like that, which is cool. And yeah, so we've got that going on. And then it's just a big Q&A at the end. But with this posing seminar, like I like to keep things, again, because we're all at different levels, it's not cookie cutter. So doing seminars is great, but like there's not a huge amount of people doing it, max 10. So we can actually give people like real advice for their physique, So yeah, that's super exciting. I've not done one since like last year as well. So yeah.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Great.
This is maybe just because you both live in the UK, but are you friends with Phoebe?
Yeah, Phoebe Hagen.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you know what's mad about that is, so we both are from the same place. We train together at the same gym. So like,
really?
And there's like 5 UK like people who have qualified for the Olympia in Bikini, and we're 2 of them, and we're literally from the same gym. Like from
that's fun.
Yeah, it's crazy, really, isn't it? When you think about all the people in the UK, and we've both like qualified for the Olympia, and we both started literally training together, doing everything together. So yeah,
it must be a great gym.
Yeah, I know, right? So yeah,
that's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So any thoughts on the Olympia in Vegas and
I just want to enjoy it. I want to almost like, I feel like I'm doing it for everyone else as well. People that like, it's taken me 18 shows to qualify for the Olympia. I've done, I competed in 2020. I broke my foot in 2021, 22, and I've competed in 23, and then again 24. So I feel like it's been a long journey, and I would say that like maybe I wasn't one of those people that you maybe looked at from the start and was like, yeah, she's gonna qualify for the Olympia. Like I always kind of felt like that, so to speak. So I feel like I just want to do this for everyone else, and to give everyone else some, like to show other pros that you can literally place dead last in your pro debut, but if you keep over the years and learning the sport and putting the work in and being dedicated, then like you can get somewhere. So not to write yourself off, but at the same time, I do know like this is my first Olympia. It is huge, but at the same time, I don't want to rule myself out, because I know that I've made the progress. I know that like I do have a strong physique, and I want to believe in myself, and like I do believe in myself. So I am aiming high, because I just feel like that's a good thing to do for me, is to aim high. It doesn't mean I'm going to be disappointed if there's anything less, because I know this sport very much goes like that. Last year I started off with 8th place, then 11th place, and then it went 3rd, 2nd, like, so I know it goes like this. So even if I hit up my first show, it doesn't go the way I want it to go, I know that it is very much like this in this sport. And yeah, so yeah, I'm doing a few shows prior to Olympia to dust off nerves and just to like fine tune my physique, to ultimately bring my best. And yeah, I don't want to rule myself out. I want to, do it for the UK and see what we can do.
So what, I was going to ask if you were going to do any shows leading into it. Are you going to be competing in the United States prior to the Olympia?
Yes. So I have got my first show. It is a qualifier for the 2025 Olympia. but me and my fiance are doing it together. It's his first proper prep since we got told like you would never compete again. And yes, we're going to compete in Italy in 8 weeks time. So I'm excited for that, just purely for the fact that we didn't think we would ever really get the opportunity to compete again together. So I'm going to do that with him, potentially Germany, maybe the week after. Then I'm going to head over to the States, and there's 2 shows that I'm going to do in the States. So
you're doing 4 shows before the Olympia?
Yeah, indeed.
Wow,
My
4.
body starts to metabolize, and like, to be honest, like what I'm doing right now, and we're only 2 kilo away from where I essentially need to be. I'm still on like 1900 calories, just 20 minutes cardio every other day, 10K steps, 1700 on a rest day. And like, we're coming in really nicely. And by that point, when I'm back to back with shows, it is very much a case of like, we've done the digging. And now it's just about playing fresh. And I believe that like, we should be able to go from show to show as bikini athletes, in a healthy kind of way. Last year in the States. So I feel like I've not really made my state debut for a reason of last year was actually a harder prep for me. And we tightened up. So it wasn't until, so I did 3 shows in a row, 2 in the States, the Florida one, the RGV. And then I went and I got 8th and 11th. Then I went to the UK and I'd like just tightened up just naturally from that. It was quite a lot. And then I landed at Heathrow and then competed in Heathrow. And that was in front of Tyler. And like, I was thinking like in the States, like I was just slightly off. I was slightly off. We still needed to like drop a little bit. And that just naturally happened as I was doing all the traveling and stuff like that. So we tightened up. I got the nerves out of the way, which is a big thing for me. Hence doing the more shows. So yeah, tightened up. And then Tyler kind of gave me that confirmation that like, okay, like I'm not going to shut it down yet. So yeah, so then we went on, and funny enough, the judge that placed me 11th was the judge that placed me 2nd, then 2nd. So again, he said to me like, if you would have brought that to the States, would have been completely different. So now it's time to like, we've worked with my coach long enough now to nail it. We've had a really good off season. We haven't got much to go. So now I want to hit the States at my best and like actually bring what I feel that I need to bring to the States to see how I'm rewarded in that respect.
Yeah, I love what you said. She's done the digging. He said, we've done the digging.
Done the digging, yeah.
No, I think that's a great strategy. So question for you. You've competed in the United States 2 times so far and a lot in Europe. I think the European athletes and the American athletes are having way more similarities. In the years ago, there was a lot of differences, but what was the experience like competing in the United States versus European shows? Maybe the competition on stage, or just what was your
probably the competition on stage. It's just it's just different, not so lean. I would say maybe it's a muscle mass thing that they can then sit a little bit softer but still have the muscle coming through the skin, things like that. I don't know. It is more like in Europe, you essentially like you kind of need to turn up a bit leaner. So I guess it's like it is different. Like I was my leanest at Romania, but again that was in front of Tarek. So it just depends on the lineup. So that's again why we want to do the state shows, to get in front of Sandy, to get her feedback. I've never been in front of her. So that's like going to be very valuable to me. And essentially we're going to come in like lean, so we can fill at the first show. And Jack Sullivan is the head judge at that show. So then we'll get feedback from him and just see where we kind of stand. So yeah, it's definitely important like to understand that it is different from place to place. So that's interesting in the sport, to be honest, and fun to navigate.
Yeah, it's tricky to navigate too. I know. I know European athletes, they definitely come in a little harder than American athletes. It seems like generalizing.
Yes.
So finding that I think it's smart to do the shows the two shows in the United States, just kind of, you and your coach might be making some adjustments based on that feedback.
Exactly. So it's really, really crucial, to be fair, that we do that. But I do know that I essentially just get fresher from show to show. And it is a case of like backing off, like I said, and just eating into the shows and like making sure I'm looking after recovery and just ticking over with training, not burying myself into the ground. So yeah, I am excited. I'm excited because you do get to enjoy it more when you're fresher and having like, I've had those preps where it's 2 hours of cardio, 800 calories and all that kind of stuff. But I guess that just speaks for, I've always followed what I'm told to do, but it speaks for your off season. And I think if you can get to a point where your off season and your prep doesn't essentially change because your habits and disciplines and what you give to it is the same all year round, you're going to have a much better process. Like, and I can see the benefits. My face isn't as drawn this time. Like everything's staying much more healthy. So yeah, it's just what I've kind of learned through the sport, which is exciting as well. So much to learn, isn't there? Literally.
Off-season dieting or reverse dieting, I think, is harder than actual prepping. Did your coach help guide you through that? And how do you navigate your off season so you don't go all over the place?
I just have learned to over the years. I used to have bulimia. So back in 2016, I was like before I started competing, like 4 weeks before was the last time I ever made myself sick. And I think like that helps with like staying on it, if that makes sense. Like past me, actually, like my food goes pretty high, like 3,000 calories. As I say, like I'm eating into shows. I've literally just had a diet break and a reset where it's kind of like, okay, I've had enough of food now. And I find the more I do this and the better I want to be as an athlete. And I look at myself like I don't have the best genetics. So how can I get ahead? So that is the 8:30 p.m. bedtimes, 2 treatments a week, like all the like little stuff. I believe that I need to be on top of. Like we chose not to go on holiday like away this year. We both had a big year ahead of us, and it helps both of us obviously on it. But yeah, when we pack up and even go away for like we just went away for a weekend to watch my clients compete, and we took 4 suitcases. Like nothing is missed, everything is replicated exactly.
We don't pack light.
Absolutely. So yeah, it's been one of those. I've had my off seasons back in the day where it's been a struggle, you know, cravings and navigating food and stuff like that. But I think the more it's gone on and the more I've understood the sport and my path and my journey, the more it's actually just a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle and something that I believe that like I should only do if like I am healthy, on the healthy side of things, you know, and I am very much focused on like my health in my off season as well. So it doesn't make sense to me to be going off the rails or anything like that. So we just have like one off plan meal a week, and I keep it reasonable. And it's just I always end up dropping weight after an off plan. So my coach is always like, you need to eat more. But yeah, so it's just my food relationship has come really, really far. So I don't fear that post show anymore. And calories are literally straight up to like 2,500 off the bat. Like, so it's kind of, yeah, it's just kind of nice. And I stick to a meal plan now, just all the time. And if I want to swap something, I will. And yeah, and that's that really. So yeah.
So what is your favorite like cheat meal, or like after you compete, like what do you go to?
So
beer and sausage? No, I'm kidding.
I like Caribbean food.
Caribbean food.
Yeah, my fiance is Caribbean, and like I've just grown. I never really had that like before when I lived down south and stuff like that. And yeah, so now I literally have like some sweet potato fries, some dumplings, and just some chicken, and like it's reasonable. And then I might just have like a chocolate bar or something like that after. And then it's just, yeah, but all day I've just stuck to my meal plan, just taking 2 meals out and just navigated it that way. I found fat distribution and stuff is like a lot better. This time I've managed to like maintain a leaner physique, like blood works straight, like good 4 weeks post show, cycles back, things like that. And I've still got my menstrual cycle at the moment, which usually does go when I played football. So it's not just a bodybuilding thing. It is like an athlete thing, I do believe. But I've still got it now. So
that's great.
yeah, things are going well.
Yeah.
I just love
thanks for joining us. I mean, you were talking about sleep earlier. You said that you took you went to bed, I think you said at 7. It's 1 o'clock now. It was 1 a.m. Now it's getting close to 2 a.m. So we're going to wrap it up for you and give you the last word.
And then I need to be awake early because I've got clients competing next week. So obviously it's a case of running them into shows. So yeah, that's a fun season in itself. But I'm literally truly honored, honestly, to be on here. And I would like to just say thank you to each of you because giving me the opportunity to speak on here. I feel like we could go on for ages. So it was really, really, really fun. And I definitely want to say a massive thank you to obviously my coach, Meg Sylvester, who's had my back. I want to say a massive thank you to Mark, my fiance, who I literally wouldn't be here without him, to be honest. And obviously the IFBB Pro League, all that fun stuff, trained by JP, Compact, Alter Ego, Bikini, Pro Tan, everyone that's just always had my back through the highs and lows, to be honest, everyone that supports me and can help me through my journey. Every DM I get is always replied to and appreciated. So yeah, a massive thank you for creating this platform and inviting me to be on it. I feel truly honored.
Yeah. Well,
sorry I didn't get to talk to you, but my computer was completely frozen. They didn't want to touch anything, so finally back. But I heard the conversation.
No. Yeah, it's great. It's great. Well, Kerry, we love you. We think you're an amazing athlete. When I saw your name on the list of qualified bikini pros, I was really excited about it and reached out to you to invite you. And then I said, what time will it be? And you're like, I'll do it. I'll be there. I'm like, you said it'll be 1 a.m., but I'll show up. So we thank you so much for joining us.
No, at all. Like I said, I really appreciate it. So yeah, hopefully see you guys across the circuit this season. And keep doing what you're doing here because it's great.
And so when we end this, I'll just tell our audience what we will see from you in Las Vegas with your British flair on the Las Vegas stage. Tell us.
I'm just gonna bring my best at the end of the day. That is literally what I'm here to do, is just bring my best. I just want to, like I say, represent everyone who thought they couldn't and shouldn't and was doubted. And yeah, I just want to have a special day at the end of the day and really embrace it. You know, you only get to qualify for the Olympia like for the first time once and enjoy that like experience once. And like, yeah, I just want to make it count, you know. It's a big milestone. So I want to just appreciate it and obviously just bring my best. I want to battle it out up there. I want to be seen. And I want to bring it. So that is the plan. And we will do everything we can to do just that.
And try to really enjoy it. Just try to enjoy every moment.
Photos, everything. Like, I just want to speak to everyone and like just really soak it up. Soak it up. Like, it's my first Olympia like experience on stage, off stage, like everything. So yeah, I'm gonna make sure I'm there nice and early and just really soaking it all up.
Well, we're going to be there supporting you.
Amazing. I'm so excited for it.
Yeah.
Just got my fire even more lit, to be honest. Like, speaking about it, because you forget, like, I don't forget I've achieved it, but it just still doesn't seem like real. So speaking about it is like, whoa.
Well, it's been a while. It's been a while since you've qualified. You've had almost a year to like relax. So now it's like, okay, it's coming. But have fun. Enjoy it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Thank you so
have
much.
Fun. All right, guys. You've seen it right here. Kerry Sexton will be on that Olympia stage, and we look forward to seeing you. And good luck. And with that, guys, from my girls, Adela and Camille.
Yes.
Come and check out Kerry Sexton in Las Vegas. All right. Bye.
Bye.